Good morning, Greenhouse Management, Controlled Environment, Agriculture Lab students. This is actually, for those of you in the lab, your second video from me this morning, because I wanted to give you a little bit more information, not just on the class, the lecture part, but now on the lab. Now, everything related to Blackboard is basically the same, even though you have a second section for the lab. So you probably have a lecture section in your Blackboard and then a lab section in your Blackboard. But all of the information, or the information and how it's laid out in there, is basically the same with the introduction, the syllabus, the schedule on what you should be doing, and due dates and things like that. So I won't repeat a lot of that. I just want to give you a few quick highlights about the lab and highlight some things you really probably need to know. Again, be sure to read the syllabus. It will really explain all of this information. In the lab, we're basically going to do two things. We're going to complete, or I should say you're going to complete, 4 laboratory projects that are designed to demonstrate a concept to you or have you develop some skills that we really want you to have coming out of this lab. So you have 4 projects you're going to conduct during the semester, and you will write for each of those 4 projects a lab report. It's a 1-page lab report. In your syllabus, there's a grading rubric on how they're graded. And in Blackboard, where you see the submit projects, well, in your syllabus, but also where you see submit project reports in the Blackboard site there are examples of lab reports. So be sure to read the description on what I'm expecting on those lab reports. Look at the grading rubric, look at example reports so that when you are ready, when it's time for you to write up a report and then submit that, you'll understand what the expectations are. Now, related to those projects, for those of you at Louisiana State University, Dr. Keeney in horticulture can tell you where your greenhouse space and your supplies are located for you. So Dr. Keeney will help get you set up. At Mississippi State, it's Dr. Harkis, and he has your materials and supplies and your lab space and your greenhouse space. If you're at Oklahoma State, that would be Dr. Cole in horticulture. And if you're at the University of Arkansas, that would be me, Dr. Evans, and I'm in the plant science building, and I can bring you down and show you where all of your materials and your space are. So to see those people about finding what you need. What you will then see in Blackboard under projects will be the description of those 4 reports to do. And in your schedule or your due dates list, it will tell you when each lab report for each of those projects is due. So read that read that project. Decide how many weeks it's going to take you to actually get it done and get a report written. And that'll tell you basically when you are going to want to be starting or the latest at which you would want to be starting a given project. So work out a schedule for starting and completing your 4 projects. Talk to your coordinator there about your supplies and things that you need. And then make sure that you look at the rubric and the report examples for preparing your report that then you will submit through Blackboard. You just attach a Word document where it says Submit Project Reports and submit that and send that to me. When you go to do a project, again, you have the protocol that's written for you, and you can read that. It tells you everything you need and gives you instructions on how to do it. But also at the bottom, in the Blackboard site, at the bottom down there, you'll see some video. And you can click on those videos because in addition to reading how to do it, I actually show you in a video. Or actually, sometimes there's multiple instructional videos. But I show you in video how to do those particular lab projects. You should be in very good shape if you read and watch. But if you still find you're still a little confused about something on doing one of the 4 projects, just drop me an email, call me, Skype me, what have you, and I'll get some clarification for you. Again, a little bit different this year. You actually do your project by yourself, on your own, so you don't have to deal with team issues. Set your own schedule, do your own project, write your own lab report. So that's the projects, the 4 projects that you do during the semester. We then will do, and I apologize, it's 5 or 6 virtual field trips. And you'll see the button in Blackboard for those. And you'll see the schedule for when you should complete a quiz. The virtual field trips allow us to go out and visit greenhouse operations around the country so that you get to see a diversity of operations, what they do, the practices they use. You'll get to see equipment that you might not normally see, a lot of robotics, for example. So essentially that will allow you to do what we often did in laboratories, and that's go visit various operations. Now, you will see in your schedule there are due dates for the quizzes for each of the virtual field trips. Typically what I do about 3 or 4 days before a virtual field trip quiz is due, I open up that virtual field trip for viewing. So it will be up, and I'll usually email you that this video, this virtual field trip is now available. And you'll have 3, 4, maybe 5 days to watch that, maybe watch that multiple times, and then complete the quiz. So we basically are going through 4 projects that you do and you write reports on, and I think 6 virtual field trips that you watch and you take your quiz on. And that's essentially what makes your lab grade. Now just one note here. At Arkansas, at Oklahoma State, at Louisiana State, no, excuse me, not LSU, let's try that again. At Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Mississippi, you receive a separate grade, there we go, for lecture and lab. So your lecture is a 3-credit course, and that's a grade, and your lab is a 1-credit course, and that's a grade. At LSU, and again, you'll see this in the syllabus, you actually are taking a single 4-hour course. So the points earned in your lab will be rolled into the points earned in your lecture to determine your grade. And you'll get a single grade on a 4-hour course. But you can read that actually in the lecture in the lab syllabi. So at this point, you should familiarize yourself with the material in the lab section. Read the syllabus. Look over those example lab reports so you kind of know what's going to be expected of you. Read the 4 projects that you're going to do so you understand what's involved. Plan as you read. Okay, this one I can get done in 4 days. Or I can get this done in a day and then 3 or 4 days to write it. Or, this one it's going to require the pots to sit in the greenhouse for a week. And sort of set yourself out a schedule. I'm starting this one on this date because it's due on this date. And I'm going to start number 2 on this date because it's going to be due on this date. You kind of plan yourself out on that. Also go visit Dr. Keeney or Dr. Harkis or Dr. Cole or myself so that you can become familiar where's the greenhouse space, where are the plants, where are the materials that I'm going to need. So hopefully that helps you out with the lab. Again, if you have questions or any issues, email me, let me know, because probably other people also are having those questions, and I'm really happy to either help you out by email or sending another instructional video. So welcome to the laboratory.